Blue Gatorade. I don't know why, but I'm like, every time I try a new drink, I always like the blue one. Like, I just tried Celsius and I tried like a bunch of different colors, and I like the blue one. Red Bull, I like the blue one. Gatorade, I like the blue one. So I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Blue. Well, usually blue tends to be a cool flavor, so you get a pass on that. Cool Blue obviously is the best Gatorade. That's not even a
So
debate.
good.
So good. Yeah, argue with your mama if you feel otherwise. But yeah, Cool Blue is the best one. It's not even close, bro. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Orange is top 2 for me, top 3 for me. I go Cool Blue, I go orange, and then I would do red sometimes, but sometimes it tastes like Robitussin. It depends on. It's got to be cold. It has to be cold.
You gotta get the fruit punch one though. Yeah. Can't get like cherry. You gotta get fruit punch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not the cherry. Cherry is a.
I like the white one, the wild or white cherry or wild cherry, whatever it's called.
It's okay. It's borderline mid though.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah. So yeah. Well.
Go ahead.
Man, welcome, man. What's up, man? We back in the building. You know what I'm saying? Welcome back to another lovely episode of the Fourth Rounders podcast. Woo! This is episode number 6.
Seven.
I need a player with 7.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's got to be a football player, bro. That's not how to.
It is.
No, bro, not that football. I need like actual football.
American football. Oh,
yes, Americano.
Number 7.
Number seven.
You know what?
Damn.
Is Ward number 7?
Who?
Ward for the Niners?
Yes.
He's number 7, right? Okay.
Yes, the corner. Yes.
That's all I got, bro.
Yeah. We gonna have to make it like you can't say no Niners, like at all.
You can't name
like
a Niner
no
player?
Niner. You can't name a Niner player if that's the number. Okay.
Is Sauce Gardner number 7?
No, he's number 1.
Okay.
Number 1.
Okay. Do you know any 7s?
Not off the top of my head. I can't really think of any. I'm thinking. I want to say. Oh no, there was 3. Let me not name a Raven. That's low-key cheating. Who's number 7? Because 7 is an interesting number. Because usually it's either a quarterback or a safety. You don't really see receivers or corners where it's 7.
Wilson.
Who?
Wilson from the Jets.
Wilson from the Jets. Garrett Wilson?
Yeah.
I think you were like 13 or 11.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
Anyway, it's episode 7. We back, man, with another lovely episode of the Fourth Rounders podcast where we give you football and fun. Or a little bit more fun than football. Yeah, depending on what we're feeling. It may be more football than fun, or maybe more fun than football, or maybe both. You never know. But anyway, if you listen to this on Apple Music or Spotify, or damn, do it every time. Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, make sure you leave a 5-star, leave a review. Oh yeah, if you listen to this on, or you watching this on YouTube or Spotify, because you can watch it on Spotify now, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe.
Please.
Yeah. So
help your
this
boys.
will be out before the. Never mind. We'll talk about it later. But anyway, now that we got all the business out the way, we appreciate y'all that be watching and watching us and listening to us. We gladly appreciate it. It's fun, man, doing these. I actually enjoy it every Tuesday. I can't even lie.
That's the thing, though, is you got to do something you enjoy doing, not something that you're just trying to make money off of.
Exactly.
So if you enjoy doing it, just do it. Like, if you make
just
money, that comes
with it.
But do what you enjoy to do.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, none of this stuff really matters. Kind of. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
It's just fun.
Anyway. Yeah, but in other words, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I had a great weekend. You ever been to the Regal Theater over there in Dublin?
Regal Theater, yes. No, wait, the Regal, not the one in Dublin, but there is one I've been to. I want to say San Francisco. Got one. I I think.
Well,
I think so.
anyways, we went to the Regal Theater, the movie theater, on a
Uh-huh.
Friday. So Disney's doing like this 100-year anniversary celebration, and they're playing like Disney movies throughout different
Yeah.
movie theaters across the country.
Right,
So we
right.
went to the Regal Theater to go watch Coco.
Mm-hmm.
And we took my son because it's his first time going to the movies. Kind of want to see how he was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, Regal Theater is the next level of like movie theaters. Like they don't play.
Because
Bro, they had a cafe, they had like a smoothie stand, they had your regular movie theater stand, they had like massage parlors in there. You could walk straight in. You don't gotta like go to the ticket booth first. I was like, bro,
yeah.
this is why. Like where I'm from, you gotta make sure you got your tickets if you open that door. Otherwise, you out.
Uh-huh.
You just walk straight in. You can buy your tickets on like a little like screen, like a iPad kind of thing. Or you can
Uh-huh.
just find like an attendant and get them to scan your passes online. But it was
Yeah.
wild. And then it's like so big in there, you can get lost. Like it's easy to get lost in
Um,
there. It's huge.
yeah.
But they have like I think the world's biggest like IMAX screen or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get to go in there and see it, but from what I heard, it's insane. But yeah, we went to go watch Coco with my son. Like I said, we just wanted to see how he would do in a movie theater, and go see a movie that you already seen 100 times. Why not try it out
Right,
there?
right.
And with
Yeah.
that, because it's like a kid movie, there's gonna be other kids, so it's not gonna be like a big deal if he starts acting up. But it
Right.
was cool. So we took him there. Their arcade was amazing too, by the way. So, but we took him there to go watch the movie. He did good for like the first 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
He like sat there eating his popcorn, his pizza, doing his thing. But
Yeah.
after that 15 minutes, he's like, all right, like I'm done with this. It's time to play. So he like was running around our aisle. It was just us on the aisle, so he was like running up and down. He like took my mom's walking cane. He started riding it like a horse, like
No,
all
he
through the aisle.
didn't.
Yeah,
Wow.
but he wasn't even like the worst kid. There's another kid that was just like crying, where the parents had to leave the movie just because he was crying too much. And then another kid that was
Mm.
like going up and down the stairs. So there was a lot of kids there, but it was cool because it's a kid movie. If you go watch a kid movie, you got to expect there's gonna be kids there.
Right,
So,
right, right.
but it was a really really cool experience. But that's what we did Friday, so that was chill. I gotta tell you this story though. On Saturday, I went to a baby shower, right?
Okay.
And I'm there with like my friends, and some of my friends have kids too. And
Mm-hmm.
I was there. We were like playing at the playground over there at a park. Where it was at a park. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it was funny because so the group of kids that was with our party made friends with this one other kid. And he was like following them everywhere they went and just playing with them and stuff. And we decided to go back to where the party was, to the tables and stuff, the area we
Right.
got. And it's quite a ways out. Like it's at least like maybe 60-70 yards away from the actual playground. Like it's out there. um
Right.
and we start heading back, and this kid follows us to our like little area that we had the party at. And I'm
Uh-huh.
just like looking around, looking for some parents, and I don't see no like parents coming up saying like, "Hey, come back over here." And I'm just like, "All right, well, I guess he's coming with us." So we just walked over there. He was like playing with like my son and like the other kids that were there. And
Mm-hmm.
at this park, what was wild was they had like yellow jacket nests underground. Like you could see them coming out from like holes that's in the grass area. So we were
Okay.
like trying to keep the kids away from there, right?
Right.
And this kid was like telling my wife, he was like, "Hey, come with me to go see the bees." And she's like, "No, I don't think we should go over there. We should probably stay over here, stay away from the bees." And he didn't really understand because he's like a little kid. He's probably like
Yeah,
maybe either
yeah, yeah. Right,
4 or 5.
right, right. Uh-huh.
And he was like, "Oh, okay." And bro, he gets too close. He gets
Uh-huh.
stung in the arm, starts screaming, bro. My wife's like, "Oh my
Uh-huh.
goodness, are you okay? What happened?" She's like trying to like get him to tell her like what happened. And then she noticed his arm was like he was like rubbing his arm because it was like on fire from the sting. And then out of nowhere, like his dad
Yeah,
just
yeah.
comes and like runs over to us. He's like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Oh, he got stung by a bee." And like you could look in his arm and there's the stinger was still there.
Oh,
And he was able
wow.
to like pull the stinger out, and then he like took his son with him. But I'm just like, bro, like you could have avoided this if you were just like here with your son and not just like let him wander off with strangers to like just a random party. But it's just like, yeah, like bro. But I was like, dang, like that must have hurt a lot to get that sting in there and get like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
venom.
Most like there's a lot of kids.
Mm,
Yeah, for sure. But you gotta know, you got one thing too is that a lot of parents nowadays don't care about their kids. So for the most part, you'll see them just like as long as they in the vicinity, like you know what I mean, you could see them. You ain't really tripping. You know what I mean? As long as they don't get stolen, you know what I mean.
yeah,
You
nah.
good.
If I'm
That's a
out
lot
in
of people watch
public,
their
I'm a
kids.
helicopter parent. Like I'm right there next to my kid. Like you going down the slide? Oh, I'm going with you.
Yeah. As you should be, as you should be, but a lot of people think otherwise. So
Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, you get situations like that where a kid just gets stung and nobody knows what's going on, and
You
yeah,
ever
it's
been stung by
just
a bee?
not that I can like painfully remember. I'm
Hmm.
probably like in the mix of stuff, probably got stung before, but it wasn't almost like I was crying like a kid or like that I could vividly remember.
I got stung when I was like 4 because I was picking up my
Mm-hmm.
sister from kindergarten, and we were
Yep.
like waiting. It was over at Sheldon. We were waiting there,
Mm.
right? And a bee, I guess, landed on my neck,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandma was like, "William, do not move." And I'm just a kid. I go, "What?" And as soon as I turned, the bee stung me right here in the neck, and I was like, "Ah!" And then my grandma, she took me home. My grandma's like this old school Mexican lady, right? So she goes in the
Mm-hmm.
backyard, she gets some like soil, some mud, and she takes
Mm-hmm.
that and she puts it on the wound. And I guess that like
Mm-hmm.
takes away just like the stinging and the swelling. So I
That's
remember
them
she was
homegrown
like,
remedies, man.
yeah, she was just like putting all that like dirt on me to get like the ground, like the nutritions from the ground all up in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think yeah, I only got stung once in my life, but it's
Mm.
not fun. But you gonna find out if you allergic or not. So,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that part is fact. Yeah, I don't think I'm allergic, so that's probably why.
mhm.
Yeah, I don't think I'm allergic, so
Well, lucky you. But
yeah.
yeah, that was my weekend. How was yours? What'd you do?
My weekend was good, man. It was my girl birthday weekend, so we did a whole bunch of
Yeah.
stuff.
Did she tell you or she tell you what I texted her on Instagram?
Yes, or something. Yeah, she said. That's what I meant to tell you. I completely forgot about that until right now. She told me, she was like, "Yeah, why did he send me a message and happy birthday, but you made the sounds?" I was like, yeah, that's my brother, man. That is
I
for
was like,
sure my brother.
I want to say happy birthday to you, and I put boom boom, happy birthday to you, boom boom.
Yeah,
You know
that
that
had
new
me
song,
dying.
that new happy birthday
Yeah.
song?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I didn't even like this. I didn't even listen to it. She just told me what you had sent. So I was like, oh my God, he's wild. Um, so yeah, man, the week was good. Didn't really do too much. Like I said, it was my girl birthday, so we kinda everything was kinda surrounded around that. What we do Saturday? What did we do Saturday? Saturday we did cable car. We went out to eat. We went to go see a play. That was pretty good. It's called Soul Train. It was pretty good. Um, we went out to this. We did the cable cars. Okay. So let's start. Matter of fact, no, I'll take that back. Let's start from Friday. Friday, we went to your favorite place for dinner that night. I'm going to say this. I went to
Where'd you
Buffalo
go?
Wild Wings.
I'm going tonight.
I went to Buffalo Wild Wings and Wingstop in the same weekend, this past weekend.
Sounds like a good weekend.
I don't care what nobody says. Wingstop clears as far as wings concerned.
Okay, I agree with
Now,
that. I agree with that.
here's my thing. So, well, I went to the one by my girl house, right? It's not the one in Concord.
Okay, okay.
Um, now when it comes to like the ambiance and everything, you get to go with your homeboys, but you got a kid and a wife, so you don't do that. You go to drink and watch sports all night. It's a great vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like the vibe is there. They got nice little snack foods. They nachos is really good. I like their nachos. The nachos is really good. Their burgers is pretty solid. Nothing wrong with the burgers. Tater tots is good. The wings,
fried pickles.
huh?
You had fried
No, we
pickles.
didn't. I didn't have that. I didn't have that. I don't like pickles. You know that though.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
So, but anyway, so I forgot. I got wings, and then I got the little sampler thing. So that
Mozzarella
was pretty, it was
sticks.
good. Yeah, it was okay. At least, like I said, I think it was just the location which one we went to, because I think the one in Concord was better. To be fair,
Okay.
so but the thing is, for me, when it comes to the food at its core, which Wingstop and Buffalo Wild Wings, when it comes to the wings, it's not even close as Wingstop. It's just the flavors be there, and then on top of that, which is to me is unfair, they just got better condiments. Like Wingstop Ranch is just top tier. Like if they sell that as a bottle, I would have one in every household that I'm in. That's how good Wingstop
That's
Ranch
some
is.
fat boy stuff right there.
Thanks, bro. I'm not even mad at it. I think anybody that like Wingstop, you know that Wingstop Ranch is top tier. No other place that sells ranch, like you go to Buffalo Wild Wings, any place, they don't make Wingstop Ranch or ranch that's nowhere as good. So yeah, just had to get that off. So Friday with the Buffalo Wild Wings, Saturday, like I said, we did the little cable car in the city. That was pretty interesting because we got stuck in the cable car for like 30 minutes. Because there was an ambulance, I guess, on the railway. So we had to wait for him to like do what he was going to do. That took forever. So then after that, we went to go watch the play. That was cool. Then we went to this place called Salitos, which is me and my girl favorite spot to eat at. And then the food was okay, and I was so mad too because the food was okay. Like Saturday, like this whole weekend for the most part. You ever just had a weekend where you feel like all the spots you usually eat at are not as good as they usually are? Like they just had bad cooks that day or something.
Yeah.
Like that's where I felt. That's how I felt. Like everywhere we went to eat, I felt like the cooks, for the most part, it was like something was off.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of Wingstop, and even Wingstop was kind of whatever. So but yeah, that was about it. Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday's our actual birthday. So we didn't do much. I just got her a few gifts or whatever, and we celebrated, had cake and ice cream, and everybody damn near sick. So yeah, that's why I'm here now.
Yeah, hence the reason why we're doing online.
That's what I'm doing online because people out here sick.
What's that word?
Like my circle is sick. I just don't want to bring my circle to your circle.
You were
respectfully.
I guess kind enough to you're considerate enough. That's
yeah, for sure.
Being considerate and saying, I don't want to come to your house and spread this sickness to
because I feel fine. I feel fine.
Yeah, but you never know.
You never know, right? So it's just like, all right, let me just not do that. And on top of that, I was okay. No, well, that's mainly it. But what I was going to say, because I remember you brought it up. So I thought that usually, like during the week, my first 2 days of the week are kind of like, because I wake up hella early to go to work, and then I double back, and then like today, like it usually be a lot because then I drive all day, then I come and record the podcast, whatever. I found me a new Energizer bunny, and it's not tea. It is matcha.
Bro, matcha go crazy.
My girl gets it all the time. She made it for me for this morning. I drunk it at like 4 a.m. I still feel fine right now.
It's like a healthy coffee with like caffeine boosters.
Fam, I have not crashed all day. At all.
It's so healthy.
At all. And I'm like, is this what I'm missing? Like, yo, I'm a matcha fan. Yeah. I am for real a matcha fan. For real.
Yeah.
Dead ass. I'm a matcha fan. So she made me like this little matcha drink. She put some like agave in it, whatever. It was chill. She was good. But man, I've been so energized all day today. All day today. I ain't been tired. I thought I would have it would have kicked in. No. I'm like, yeah, you might need some matcha, fam. Just get some matcha for the crib.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
I have some it's like a little packet, you just pour it into
Yeah.
like hot water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have some of
Nah,
those.
you gotta get that. Get you some cold matcha. Get you like some lemonade. You see matcha lemonade, and you can even add some like agave, so the matcha's pretty strong of taste.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Telling you,
You ready
bro.
to go?
You ready to go, bro? I'm
It's game
ready.
time. Game time.
Yes. Let me get a helmet. No, I ain't gonna lie. I'm in no shape or form to play football. I'm so mad at myself because I'm like, man, I don't aspire to get back in that shape, but I just want to get like in the ballpark to like if I throw on a helmet, I don't feel out of place.
I feel like a lot of people try to get back to like their high school weight. I mean, some people will stay there. Some people will even like
Yeah.
lose heck of weight when they get older and like have
Uh-huh.
was that glow up? They'll have a glow up.
Yeah.
But most people are like, if only I could be back in high school. It's like,
Yeah, I didn't put like this. I'm past that part. I think I just kind of want to be like a newer version of myself.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of want to like unlock the newer or growner version of that, which I feel like I can be. So I think it's more of that. Like because even at my high school, I feel like I was still relatively big. Like even though I was in shape big, but it was still big regardless.
yeah.
So that necessarily don't really matter to me, but yeah, because
I will say,
16-year-old bones don't move like 29-year-old bones.
oh yeah, no, they don't.
That's GG.
No, they don't. But I was gonna say I have been talking to my bodybuilder friend. I guess he's like a weightlifter kind of thing. He like broke a record for like under 20-year-olds and stuff in California, with like deadlifts and stuff. So he like works out. He's gonna be training me pretty soon. He's like showing me equipment that I need to buy, and I'm gonna turn like my garage into like a gym. Because I told him I was like, bro, get me on the swole team. Like, what you doing, bro? Like, help me out. So he's like, all right, I got you. So he's gonna send me some stuff to buy. So hey, if you want to link up, let me know.
I'll
He can show you some stuff too.
Less.
Shout out to Animated Strength. He's got his own brand, Animated Strength. Look it up. But yeah,
got you. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. Now my kicker is that do they work on leg day?
Oh yeah, no, he's
okay for sure.
Yeah,
okay,
he's solid on everywhere.
That's
all. He's good.
Because like my biggest thing is with people like that is like they'll do that, they work out and it's all upper legs. Body, chopstick legs. I don't want chopstick legs at all. Like that's as long as I don't have chopstick legs, I'm cool. But
no, he focuses on everything. Because I mean, if you're gonna be doing like competitive weightlifting, you not only have to have the upper body, you have to have lower too. Exactly. If you're doing deadlifts, you're doing like squats, like your legs is what basically is doing that. So yeah, no, he's got it. So he's gonna be training me. So like I said, free invitation. You want to come over and he'll show us some stuff. So
say less. Well, oh man. Now on to what they like to call it football americano. Week 2 recap. There's a lot that happened this week, man. A lot of unfortunate events. A lot of interesting games. We'll talk about a few in particular. Or matter of fact, because you didn't put it on the nose. I meant to put it on the nose. The Vikings and the Eagles. You didn't put it on the nose.
Yeah,
I mean, put like this. It was kind of
about it. We can talk.
Yeah, because I'm gonna say like the Eagles low key. I mean, obviously the Eagles won, but it wasn't what I expected. As far as like I thought it would be like more of a blowout than what it was. Now, granted, I think it wasn't really. I mean, more or less, the score don't really show you how close the game really was or felt. Because I think the Eagles felt like they had the lead for most of the game, but they did. Let me take that back. But it didn't feel like the game was necessarily over, and then Minnesota made a run. At the end, Kirk Cousins did have a hell of a game, especially I think in the second half. Jalen Hurts, he played okay. I think the running game really showed his face because I remember in the first half, like they really struggled. Like the Minnesota, I mean not Minnesota, but Philly couldn't really get the ball moving.
Yeah.
Until they literally had that one series possession where they ran the ball like eight straight times or something crazy like that. It was unreal. I remember I was watching and I'm just like, y'all, I've never seen this. Like you don't see that in today's football. Like that's like 2000s football. So it was very refreshing. But anyway, but up until that point, like Minnesota had played a relatively solid game, and then just
Yeah.
a couple mistakes throughout the game by Minnesota, a couple fumbles by a few players
It was
that
kind of going
really.
back and forth with like the fumbles and stuff. It was kind of weird.
And it was kind of weird, but for the most part, it was mainly on Minnesota's end. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the Philadelphia fumbled once, but Minnesota fumbled 4 times. That's four
Yeah.
possessions. You
It
know what
was
I'm saying? That's
bad.
4 drives. So it's like at that point, you kind of giving the game away. Um, and for me, it was kind of like, as Minnesota, I mean, with Philly being 2-0, I think they will turn it around. But I definitely think that it's something to keep your eyes on moving forward, just because we want to see if they could hit that dominant switch, like I think we've
Yeah.
seen a few other teams probably do at this point, even though it's only early in the
I
season.
would have thought they'd be like how the Cowboys look right now. Because the Cowboys
Right,
look, they are
right.
dominating.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, yeah,
thought
for
like
sure.
Philadelphia was gonna be like that. But
For
they
sure.
still getting their dubs though. But
Yeah. And to give them a break, I mean, Dallas played, but they took care of business, even though they played the Jets. That's pretty much, I think, with the Jets itself, they dinner quitting already because they ain't got Aaron Rodgers. So
Zach
that's
Wilson ain't
completely
that bad though. He can like
oh
hold it
no,
down.
no, no,
He can
no,
hold
no,
it
no,
down, bro.
no, 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 bro. Zach Wilson sucks.
I think the
He
last game he did, the first game he came in when Rodgers got injured, he wasn't that bad. So he
yeah,
showed
for
he got
sure.
potential. But
He
this
got
last
potential
game,
for
okay, yeah,
sure.
this last game he was
Yeah,
horrible.
nah. But
But
he's just a backward. Like he's the worst starting quarterback in the NFL right now. The worst starter. He's the worst starter.
yeah, I guess
Yeah,
I
he's the
can't think
worst
of anybody
starter.
else that.
Give me Baker Mayfield. And I
Oh, Mayfield
slandered
going
him.
crazy,
Man,
bro.
Baker for
Mayfield
playing
going
nice. He's
crazy.
playing nice. But yeah, man. So my thing is, I mean, what was your thoughts of the game if you did watch it? What you thought about the Eagles, and also what you thought about Minnesota? Minnesota kind of already a 0-2 team.
Yeah.
I never really liked the roster completely. They definitely have some talents on the outside, but I've always been I'm borderline low key been a Kirk Cousins hater. For me, like no matter how good he do, I just don't really think that with him at your quarterback position that you're going to win anything important.
Mhm.
And with I think his contract coming around, I think next year or a couple years, I think Justin Jefferson contract is coming up. Minnesota has some decisions they have to make unless they want to just be this team that's just stuck in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, moving forward, what did you think about this game? And as far as like what do you think about both these teams?
Yeah, so I think for me, I did think that the Eagles would be a lot more dominant because after at least the first week of watching the Vikings, you kind of see it's like what you were saying last season. Like the Vikings are a what's the word you called them? You said they're it's like a fake team. Like what I forget what you said, like the term that you
Fraudulent.
used. Fraudulent team. So you kept saying that they frauds, right? So I think after week one, when we saw like their performance, it was kind of like, I think that's coming to fruition this season.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I thought like, okay, game two, Vikings coming in. Jefferson hasn't been doing the best. But I thought it was gonna be a blowout, but they did good at the end there to kind of, give a little bit of competition. But yeah, the Eagles are just the Eagles. They're stacked again this year. So we already knew they were gonna win. Um, yeah, Kirk Cousins, he's a very mid quarterback. A lot of people think he's like at least top 10, close to top 5-ish. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I agree with you. If his contract's coming up and he's going to probably ask for some money, the Vikings should look in. They're gonna have some good quarterbacks next year's draft. So they better look into some of those guys if they want to bring someone in that can actually you know, control the game. Because I don't think Kirk Cousins can really control the game the way that the Vikings need him to. He's more of just like, I can get the ball to whoever you need me to get it to, but he's not like a dynamic player to where it's like a game changer. Like, oh, we're losing. Okay, it's up to me. Let me go ahead and go out there and take the team down the field and get like 2 touchdowns real quick. He's not gonna do that. He's not gonna do that. Jefferson will do that, but he's not going to. So yeah, they should look into a new quarterback. Maybe they could re-sign him, but not as much. Maybe he can fight for that QB1 position if they bring somebody in. I think he would be good to like get a rookie quarterback and kind of like put him under his wing and kind of like let Cousins kind of teach what he knows. And then the next year let that person go. But no, the game was cool. I caught like a glimpse of it. I didn't catch the whole thing. I was watching my fantasy too much because I got Hurts and Swift on there. So I was just making sure they were doing good, which they did. Well, Swift did amazing. Hurts didn't do too well, but he did his basic stuff. But yeah, so that's what I got from it.
Yeah. So going into this year, this is actually Kirk Cousins' final year on contract. And he's 35. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think if I was Minnesota, I think depending on how the season goes, I would start to look in a different direction. Granted, you do have a lot of quarterbacks that's, coming in that are very talented. We don't know how bad Minnesota will be to earn one of those top quarterbacks because I think there's a good 3 or 4 that's going to probably get picked in the top 10. Based on how people have been talking, I think they're, especially with how Sanders is playing. Caleb, you got Sanders. You got what's my boy name? What's the brother name from I think Texas? There's a couple. I can't think of their names off rip, but yeah, there's gonna be a decent class. There's gonna be a decent class for quarterbacks. So yeah, I don't know Kirk Cousins, man. I personally just never really been the biggest fan of him. So I always thought like he was a average to above average quarterback, but I never thought that he's shown me so much that like when it's on the line, he's going to drop the ball. And it sucks. You know what I mean? Because I think for the most part, I think if you look at his stats, he's pretty good. Like he don't really have bad. I don't really think he had necessarily bad games. Like I think the stats is pretty decent, but it's just like for the most part, when it's money on the line, he tends to fold. And that's one of my biggest things about quarterbacks is that you either got to be. It's almost like he gets paid like he's one of them type of quarterbacks, but he's more like a elevated game manager, if you ask me.
I think it's kind of weird to see a lot of teams that have not won a game yet after week 2. There's a couple teams in there that we thought.
Oh, yeah, we don't worry. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. We're gonna talk about it a little bit. Don't worry.
My bad. Let me stop.
We're gonna talk about that in a little bit, man. It's like this. It's gonna go along the lines with the last subject with the top 5. But anyway, so it's still a good game nevertheless. Then we go into Sunday. As you can see, you see my hat, you see these boys, you know what I'm saying? I mean, his boys won too, but we ain't talking about them. They almost lost to the Rams. Fraudulent. Anyway, but the bigger subject of this matter is the Bengals played the Ravens, and the Ravens played a great game. Knew what was going to happen. Came out of there with a hard-fought dub. Lamar played great. Well, I say he played good to great. I think everybody played relatively well. Unfortunately, OBJ got hurt, but as well as Joe Burrow tweaked his calf again, pretty much at the end of the game. Bengals is starting off the season 0-2, and going into a situation where, unfortunately, I think their schedule is pretty intense not even pretty intense, but they are going 0-2, and they have, let me look at their schedule real quick. They have the Rams, Titans, Cardinals, and Cardinals, Seahawks for the next 4 games before they hit the Niners, Bills, Texans, and then they play us again after that. My question, let My question is to you is that what do you think about the status of the Bengals? And what do you think they should handle? How they should handle Joe Burrow? Because I haven't seen any rumors or no reports about whether if he's going to play this week or not. But with them going 0-2 in the division and being behind the 8 ball, it's definitely going to be hard for them to play catch up at a certain point. So they have to kind of figure out whether it's worth the risk or not to play him. But if you play him, it's possible if they run the risk of Joe Burrow potentially tearing his Achilles like Aaron Rodgers did, because obviously your calf is linked to your Achilles and blah blah blah. So, yeah, what you think about the Bengals, man? And do you think that Joe Burrow should sit or should they play him moving forward?
I think this is just a very weird time with the Bengals. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, we always talk about them being like him. And to see them performing like this is weird. It's like, what's going on?
To be fair, they did start 0-2 last year too, so it's not like it's the end of the world. However, I think this year's a little bit different just because of the fact that Joe Burrow is not healthy, and he's this is a lingering injury. The calf injury just doesn't go away like that. So you kind of end up having to just monitor him a little bit more delicately than you would do in the other situation. So that's why.
Yeah, I mean, if they gotta sit him out for a week, then you gotta do what you gotta do to make sure he stays healthy, because you're gonna need him later in the season. If you start winning and you start making playoffs, you're gonna need Burrow.
What if you gotta sit him out like 4 weeks?
I don't know, bro. I mean,
because those injuries is low key. Those injuries are about a good 2 to 4 weeks, give or take.
I don't know. I mean, I'd say max sit them out 2 weeks. If like in those 2 weeks, you better be doing a lot of like therapy and like just like recovery to get him back into shape to get back on the field, because you're gonna need him. That's your franchise quarterback. You want to make sure that he is good to go and he can play, because if you don't got him out there, I don't even know who the second stringer is for the Bengals.
Jake Brown. They have Jake Browning and Will Greer as their backup quarterback.
Yeah, see, we don't even know who they are. So, I mean, they could come in and they can pull a Brock Purdy maybe, but I don't think so.
Yeah. But like this, I know these two quarterbacks, but they're not nothing to call home about. They was good in college. They were good in college. I'll say that. They were good in college.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe a max 2 weeks sit him out just to see how everything goes. But in those 2 weeks, like, he's got to be recovering a lot. Like, make sure that he gets stronger in his leg, because you can't afford to have him sit out for the rest of the season, because there's too many people right now with that, and it's looking horrible. Sure. But
so I mean, you got LA on Monday night, and then that's a toss up, but it might be an L.
That's an L.
So they could go, they'll be 0-3, and then you got Tennessee. That's a winnable game. It's on the road, but it's a winnable game, so you'll be 1-4. Then you play at Arizona. That's a winnable game, so you could be 2-4. And then you got a home game versus Seattle.
Seattle gonna take them apart.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough, man, because you just signed Joe Burrow to that contract. I think there's still other players that's looking to get paid relatively soon. And hold on, let me look at the contracts real quick. Give me 1 second. But I think with Joe Burrow, it's tough because you see how many he can. Oh no, it's the next year contract. But it's tough, man, because I mean the whole franchise is pretty much dependent on him to be able to play. And especially when you're trying to win and you're trying to get into the Super Bowl, him not being able to play, especially right now, is so bad. I mean, it's so crucial because they're behind the 8 ball. If I'm looking at the standings right now, they're 0-2. They're in the bottom of the division. And then, and especially in the AFC, you want to try to get as much as a head start as much as you can. So you already got Miami to a good start, Baltimore to a good start, everybody else. Wow, we're the only team. Wow, Miami and Baltimore are the only teams undefeated. Okay, so not the worst start, but you just don't want to get caught behind that 8 ball because you got so many teams that can potentially just get to a point where you just can't catch up to them. You know, you got New York is probably gonna fall off the face of the earth pretty soon. You still got Kansas City. You got Pittsburgh that just came off an incredible dub against the Browns last night. You still got the Browns that's still respected. I remember we did bring up the Chargers and the Broncos, but they look like a lost cause. Jacksonville's still there. The Raiders is 500. I mean, it's early, but still. So I don't know, man. I think it's tough, man, because it's like it depends if the organization feel like this is a win or bust season or championship or bust season. I don't think they necessarily feel that way, so I think they'll just end up sitting them out at least for the first 2 games. They'll see what their backup quarterback could do these next 2 games, and then that's also if he chooses to play or not to play. But if it was me, I would sit him out these next 2 games.
Yeah,
I go 0-4. Then he has to play. If he wants to play and he can play, then I'll play him. Because at that point, I can't really give up too many other games. Because at that point, I'm playing for wild card, and that's a tough game to play, especially when you want to get the tiebreakers against the AFC teams.
Yeah.
So
but also the AFC teams haven't been performing to the standard that we thought that they would be. Like a lot of star players are being horrible these first 2 weeks.
For sure. But here's my thing, right? Where if you look at their schedule, let me go back to the schedule. If you go back to their schedule, right? They already behind the 8 ball between us and Cleveland, right? Now, granted, with Los Angeles, they could sit him out because yes, you want to win that game, but it's not a conference game, so it's not really in the big scheme of things, it matters, but it's a game that you don't have to forcefully play him. You play Tennessee, that's an AFC matchup that could potentially mess you up if you got to have a tiebreaker with said team. So in these next 4 games, they only have one that's potential tiebreaker, value as far as I got to get over play this. If we beat Tennessee, if we got the same record, I beat them, so I'll get the tiebreaker. Now, granted, the next 8 games, I think, is mostly against NFC opponents, so you don't want to just give up all of those. But there are a couple games that you could kind of be like, let me try to see if my backup quarterback can win this. And then for me, I think it's the first 2 games. I'll even take a chance on Tennessee just because I don't think they're really that good offensively. Even though they played pretty decent against the Chargers. The Chargers is just at this point they the new frauds. But nevertheless, I would send him out these next 2 games, kind of let him heal, figure it out, and then by that next game, I think that's against Arizona. That's a light game. I don't think it'll be too much pressure. Get your rhythm back, and then you'll be ready for Geno, and then just carry out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I think that'd be best bet for him. I think personally. So, but we'll see, man. Hopefully, Burrow's okay, man. We a lot of injuries have been happening, unfortunately. And speaking of injuries, we had a couple crucial ones in particular. Saquon Barkley got hurt pretty much at the end of the Giants game. And then we had a nasty injury to Nick Chubbs during Monday Night Football against the Steelers. For any of y'all that have watched that, it was terrible. It was terrible. I don't think nobody...
Bro, his knee snapped back.
Yeah. It probably, we ain't even gotta explain it. Just if you've seen it, you know how disgusting it is. Unfortunately, he tore that same knee up in college, similar, but a different angle. Yeah. It's so that left knee is. Nick Chubb is so talented, so it just sucks for him because to deal with another injury like this to the same knee that you injured in college, I know it has to be frustrating. I know it has to be tough to, deal with. And yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think I don't know with with the Brown situation, man, with Nick Chubb being gone, a lot of the pressure becomes on on Deshaun Watson now.
Yeah.
And from the game I watched, I know they defense is pretty good. The defense is top tier. Or to me, it could be a
Yeah,
top
you
5
got
top tier
Garrett over
defense.
there trying to get
Yeah,
your quarterback.
that D
Is
line
the
is
bro? He was
disgusting.
doing crossover moves before they hiked the ball. That's how
Yeah.
bad it is over there.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like,
for
oh yeah,
sure.
we gonna get
For sure. But I think that's just part of their theme though, man. They were showing it last night. They were showing how like their team is just their chemistry on defense is just like that. Like they do like basketball stuff. Like they'll do jump shots or dances or whatever before they go into a play. I guess it's just the way they relax. So I mean if it works, then go ahead, keep doing it.
Yeah.
But shout out to the Browns, man, for that. Man, they got a hell of a defense, man. But as far as with Nick Chubb, man, it's very unfortunate, man. Injuries suck. They always do.
I will say though, I called it. So for y'all, so let me give you some backstory, okay? So we got our fantasy.
You speaking
league.
on somebody's downfall is crazy.
I accidentally did. Okay, we got our fantasy league going, right? And
wait, wow,
I'm
speaking
playing.
on. Okay,
I'm
you got
playing. I played Eric last week, and
Uh-huh.
it was so after all the Sunday games, all my players were done. Like I didn't have anybody else gonna play Monday night. So I got my points and everything, and I was winning by like 22 points. And he had two players that were gonna play Monday night, and depending on how they did, was gonna determine if he beat me or not. So he had Nick Chubbs in starting, and he also had Hurst from North Carolina. So I was talking to my manager because he's also in the league with us, Ron. I told him, I was like, I think I'm gonna lose this, and he's like, yeah, because he still got Nick Chubbs, and Nick Chubb's gonna put up some points. And I was like, I know this sounds bad, but what if he goes in and he like breaks his leg or something and I win just because he got injured? He's like, bro, don't say that. He's like, that's messed up. He's like, I get like you trying to win and everything. He's like, but we don't want to see nothing happen to Nick Chubb. And I was just like, yeah, but like if something did happen, I would win and that'd be pretty dope. Like all respect to Nick Chubb. So when it happened, bro, all I seen on my phone was a notification said Nick Chubb carted off field for leg injury. Bro, I was like, okay, first of all, horrible news because you never want to see a great player get injured to where they can't play. So horrible news. I feel for him. Like I wish him the best. I wish him to come back as soon as he can and like get better and everything. But I was so happy once I saw that notification because I was like, oh. So I like immediately called Eric and he was like, bro, what do you want? I was like, I told you I was gonna win. Nick Chubb is out. He's like, bro, you got so lucky. I was like, bro, I accidentally called it. So yeah, my bad for putting that out in the universe and for
I'm
actually
gonna just
happening.
say, I would just say, I can never look at you the same no more after that. That is unreal. I'll just be honest. I was just like, I can't believe that you went that far. I can't believe you went that far for a fantasy victory, bro.
It's not like I broke his leg.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you broke his leg, but you kind of like spoke it into existence. So, not to, you know what I mean? And it's just like, that's kind of tough, man. But I know you played this. That was your first fantasy win, so you were excited, and so I don't like this. I'm gonna let you marinate on that.
Yeah,
but yeah, let's not. Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
tough,
I'm like the only one in the group chat that be talking heck of mess. So.
Yeah, you be excited. Man. Play this to me. Well. Because I think I won last week. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, you won.
But I won. So I was just like, but it's just, because sometimes, Yeah, people sometimes with fantasy they take it too far, so you kind of got to do it with a grain of salt sometimes. So you just kind of see how everybody else like operates, and then you'll just go accordingly. And that's kind of how I am. So like I'm seeing people talking about their blog, and it's just like, all right, it's funny. I listen, I watch, I read it, and it'd be funny to me. I just be like, okay, bet. But because I usually talk with it with my homies, so like
Yeah.
the same way y'all do to them, I just do it with the bros in the group chat. So I get it. I just never see somebody so excited for a fantasy football. You're the first. Like you're literally the first. Like you're the first that was
Am
like,
I
oh my
not
god,
supposed to be this competitive? Is that what's going on? Like, I'm
no,
not
no,
supposed
no,
to be
no,
this
no, no. You
excited.
are. I just don't think that hoping somebody gets injured is the route. Like, and even like you could have said, I hope he like sprains an ankle. Maybe he just tired or he just has a bad night. You said break a leg. Like that is just a no, and like that's just a no. Like it would have been one thing. Like I just hope he sprains the ankle. He done for the night. Maybe he gets a concussion. He's okay. He can come back. Bro, not come back for the rest of the year. He's done.
Yeah, that's what
He
I'm saying.
might
I feel
not.
bad, but
He
at the same
yeah
time,
yeah. You're foul. You're foul. You're done. You're done. All right, man. Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about this no more. I'm done. Moving along. How long have we been recording? By the way.
It's probably like 40 minutes.
Okay, bet. So we still got time. All right, bet. Moving along, man. So what I don't say. Well, it's only a couple games in, man. So it's like you ain't really gotta, really don't have a gist of certain teams, but as of for the first couple games, we kind of give. I feel like we could give like our top 5 teams that we've seen so far. As far as who we feel like are the top 5 teams in the league. It
Mm-hmm.
and then we could just finish it off with one team that we're surprised that is 0-2. So, in your opinion, as of today, what is your top 5 rankings as far as teams today? And then give me a team that you feel like is shockingly that is 0-2. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna say 0-2. Just give me a team that's disappointed you so far.
A team that is just, it's probably got to be the Chargers. I
Okay.
feel like the Chargers have been very disappointing. Either the Chargers or the Vikings. I had high
Okay.
hopes for those two.
Okay.
Actually, no, what? The Bengals are very disappointing right now. That's the
Okay.
one I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna say the
All right.
Bengals because for
All
Burrow
right.
and Chase to be 0-2, that's insane.
They were 0-2 last year though. They're starting the season.
But they had such a great okay, when Chase came in, he was doing basically what he's doing now, and everybody was like talking mess, like, oh, you guys messed up by drafting him, like he's not actual good wide receiver. But he turned it on after that, and he like was going crazy for the rest of the season. That's why we consider him like a top 5 wide receiver now.
But the same thing
Um,
you say with Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow, like in the beginning of the season, he threw 4 picks, I think, last year in the beginning of the season.
mhm.
Everybody thought Joe Burrow fell off, and they ended up going to the conference championship. But I get
Yeah,
what you're
that's what I'm
saying,
saying. It's
though.
like you went from that to being in the conference championship to being a great team, and you went all the way back again. Like, why would you go backwards?
They might just be like slow starting teams. They might be like how
I
certain teams
guess.
like a slow cook, like a slow roast, like a pot slow roast. You know what I
Okay.
mean? They might be a slow roast team. It may be a slow
Yeah,
roast team, man.
could be
They late bloomers. But I feel it. But yeah, I need your top 5 teams, man, as of today.
my top
In
5.
order. In
Okay,
order. Just go from
number
5 to 1. Go from 5 to 1.
2, 3. Hold on, give me a second. Give me
Yeah, this
4.
is this is why you're supposed to have them in your notes.
Well, you put it in last minute, so.
Did I though? I put it in
Um,
at Sunday, I think. Did I put it in? Because I could look and see. When did I put it in? Oh, I did. I put it
okay,
in.
okay,
Okay, fair enough,
okay.
fair enough, fair
All
enough, fair
right,
enough.
I'm gonna say number 5. Oof,
Uh-huh.
sorry, excuse me. Number 5, I'm gonna put Chiefs. I think they're
Okay.
still a great team. I just think because that first game Kelsey was out, they had like a little hiccup. But I still think
Okay.
they are going to be a top 5 team at the end of the season.
Okay.
So Chiefs. I'm gonna say the next one. Oh, I'm gonna say Dolphins. Dolphins number
Okay.
4. Great team. I just feel like their defense needs to tighten up just a little bit more, but they're a great team. These other 3 just overall are better. Number three, I'm going to put the Eagles. I feel like they are overall like defense, offense are still top tier on both sides. They just
Mm-hmm.
haven't been playing to their fullest potential yet. Um, Number two, Cowboys, because Cowboys have been dominating all across the
Mm-hmm.
board. Both sides, very good, top tier teams. But number one's got to be the Niners. So you can't go against them. You can't count them out. So
Yeah,
that's
you
what I'm
can't
saying.
count them
Number
out
one
because they're
team
gonna
is the
fold in the conference
Niners.
championship.
Nah, they ain't. They ain't gonna fold. So top team is the
Yeah.
Niners. What about you? Who's your
Yeah.
disappointment and who's your top five?
Uh, I will start with probably my top five. Um, Matter of fact, no, I'll start with my disappointment. I think my disappointment so far is probably the Chargers. I thought the Chargers would be a lot better going into this year. I just think my biggest issue with them is just their defense, man. I think that when you have Derwin James, you have Khalil Mack, you have Bosa as your top players on defense, I really don't think you should be struggling the way you do on defense. I know I know they kind of have limitations because they are losing. They don't really have a lot of their. I mean, they lost a decent amount of their corners as far as health concerned, but I still feel like you have enough to beat a lot of teams. Granted, you shouldn't have lost to the Tennessee Titans. That's inexcusable with a team that struggled offensively against the Saints last week that barely put up 15 points. You're up against Tennessee and you're up 20-3 against Tennessee. My bad, not 20-3. I'll take that back. But you have a decent lead against Tennessee and you somehow, some way give up that game. Um, just it's the defense, man. The defense just I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And then on top of that, you lose a pretty competitive one against Miami. I think that was one that y'all let go they let get away because they could easily be 2-0 right now as we're speaking. Um and with Justin Herbert, he hasn't played bad. I think he's played good these last two games, but like I said, I just think it comes down to the defense, man, not being able to get stops. And with them having all that talent that they have on defense, I really don't think they should be struggling the way they do defensively. And on top of that, they have a defensive coach. So I don't know what's going on over there in the not Clipper land, but the Charger land, to say the least. So I think the Chargers for me would be the most disappointing team, I think. Um, as far as my top five concerned, so I went back and forth. I'm kind of in a flux a little bit because I was trying to think about how do I see these teams, and it was tough, man, because obviously because these teams are only 2-0, so there's really no big sample size that we can really go off of, right? So it's all kind of just blah, whatever. So for me, as of the teams that I feel are in the top five right now, right, I am going to start off with my number five team being the Ravens. Um, Obviously, I think with these two games that we played so far, I mean, the Texas wasn't really much of a competitive game, but to go into Cincinnati and to compete the way that they did, and Lamar Jackson played pretty well that second game, and the defense pretty much held their own for the most part. I think that out of the teams especially out of the teams that are undefeated, I think that we are definitely one of the more well-rounded ones. But I mean, when you're in the top five, you everybody's pretty much well-rounded, if you ask me. At number four, I got the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys have definitely gotten off to a great start. Dak Prescott looked pretty well. The defense has looked very dominant. These first two games, giving up 0 points to the Giants and then pretty much locking up the Jets. Granted, obviously they don't have Aaron Rodgers in the backfield, but nevertheless, you still take care of business. The defense looked really, really great. But especially I'm gonna put them at four because of the fact that number three is the Eagles. I have the Eagles there, even with them struggling these first two games. I think they're still better than Dallas, even though they may not have the better performances than Dallas. But I think if they were to play each other, I think Eagles will still come out with the victory. Um, yeah, I don't know. I had to
It's
think
kind of
about
a
that
toss
again.
up, but
Yeah, it kind of tossed, kind of 50-50, but I still think I like the Eagles better. In my opinion, but I mean, all time will tell. And see, and then this is where I kind of was and I was kind of battling myself because as of right now, I got either because I think to me, you can either say Miami is the best team in the league right now, or you can say the Niners, and I wouldn't really be mad at either or, to be honest. I think with Miami, I think they definitely have had a lot of more closer games, but I think that their offense is definitely once they get the rhythm going, it's going to be very difficult to stop. I think it's been pretty evident with how these games have played out. The first game pretty much being a shootout. Tyreek Hill having a hell of a game, and then the second game they kind of digressed a little bit as far as offensively. But when you got a defense that's pretty much not giving up anything over the top with Tyreek Hill, the only option you have is to run the ball. And Raheem Mostert had a hell of a game. I think he had over 120 yards or something along them lines. But yeah, he had a hell of a game. So even though the games have been closer with them, I think their team is pretty good. And then you got the Niners. Niners is pretty much one of the more well-rounded teams in the league. The defense is still looks to still be pretty good. I think they have some kinks in their armor, but nothing too crazy. I think at offensively, I think you just stayed kind of like the Miami. It's just a lot of options that you got to deal with, throughout the whole game. That as long as Brock Purdy can make them throws, it's a hard team to beat, And then you got Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. You got Debo that can come out the backfield. You got Ayuk. You got Kittle. You got what's number 15 name? What's his name? Number
Jennings.
15? Jennings. So you got a lot of repertoire offensively, and then the defense is still there, like I said. So I would probably, if somebody was like, yo, you had to pick a best team today, I would probably still go to Niners. I think the Niners is probably the best team right now in the league, and I think I'll probably go Niners 1, Miami 2, Eagles 3, Dallas 4, Baltimore 5. If I had to do it today, I think that just the Niners they probably have had the best, like, I ain't gonna say the best, but they've had game
Consistent.
they've had probably the most consistent outside of probably Dallas
Yeah.
of the most consistent 2 games where it's like, okay, they don't look like they lost a step. They just picking up where they left off at. Granted,
Yeah.
the Rams game was a bit scary because I think that was a very closer game than it should have been. But
I think that just
more or
has to
less,
do with like the two coaches, just dynamic because they
yeah, I think
both came from was it Washington?
or something like. But I think I just attribute that to being a divisional game. When you got
Yeah, that
divisional
too.
rivalry, all those games kind of the results is always weird, right? Like
Yeah.
you seen, we beat the Bengals, the Ravens beat the Bengals by 3, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Browns. Nobody thought they was gonna win. So when it comes to those divisional rivalry or the divisional games, it's always kind of closer than what people think they usually are. So yeah, I couldn't be mad at that. So yeah, that's probably my order. Niners, Miami, Eagles, Dallas, Baltimore. And
I ain't mad
so,
at you.
yeah, I know you're not. Yeah, that'll change in a couple weeks though. I just gotta say,
Okay.
I'm just waiting for them to take it. I'm just waiting for them to take an L, and then I'm gonna drop them. Once they take the L, they drop it. I don't care who else take an L. Once they take an L, they drop it. Anyway, moving along. Top performance of the week. Give it to me. Who you got?
This
You
one
ain't
was
got
kind
it,
of
huh?
this one was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like the new wide receiver at LA. He was killing us.
Uh-huh.
Pakua
I don't know his
Nakua, something
name.
like that. He's
Yeah.
doing really good, and he had a really good game against us.
Uh-huh.
So I really like him, but there's just one other player that did amazing this past week that I have to give it to, which is Swift
Uh-huh.
from Philly. Swift went crazy. He
Yeah.
beat his all-time career best. I think he is the. They said that he like broke a record for people from Philly that played at Philly. Like he's the top person now or whatever. So yeah, he just went crazy. I forget what like his stats were and everything, but he had like a couple touchdowns. I think he had over 160 rushing yards or something like that. He made like the game winning touchdown at the end. Like he had to play it all out. Like you said, they were just handing it off to him and handing it off to him. Just like one after another because their run game they weren't being able to who are they playing? The Vikings, right? They just could not stop the run game when it came to the Eagles this week, and it's because Swift was out there going crazy. So yeah, I got to give it to Swift, even though I like Brumman from the Rams, but unfortunately he didn't do as well, I think, in my opinion, as Swift. So I give it to Swift.
It's not a bad one. That is not a bad one. I know we ain't talked about it this podcast, but I think my player of the week would probably have to go to Josh Allen. Came out, after having a terrible first game against the Jets, came out against the Raiders and took care of business, man. 31 for 37 with 274 yards, 7.4 yards to carry with 3 tugs, with a QBR 78, which is not bad, and a QB rating of 124. I think he just had a hell of a game, man. Just took care of business. Looked pretty good against
Josh Allen.
Being Josh Allen, man. You know what I'm saying? Making hella throws, was able to spread the ball around a lot. The Raiders not really that good, but for the most part, so it's kind of just him. It is what it is. It's the Raiders, but I think Josh Allen definitely for somebody that struggled game 1 against the Jets, Aaron Rodgers-less Jets, dare I say, came back in game 2 against the Raiders, took care of business, and got them up out of there pretty early, I might add. But yeah, shout out to Josh Allen, man. He gets my player of the week. Played really good.
Yeah,
Raiders are really bad. I don't know what they're gonna do, bro. It's ugly. I'm just gonna say that it's really ugly in Las Vegas. They got so much stuff going on. I don't know.
Maybe, bro. You got to rebuild that defense. First things first, rebuild that defense.
Oh man, play this and get to a championship game and never win it. I don't know. Moving along. You want to talk about you want to talk about fantasy league thing? Thingy.
We won't have to. I won my fantasy league because
I think we both did. We're
kind of covered why I won.
Yeah, it's disgusting the amount of links that people will go to make sure they win a fucking fantasy football game. But whatever. So we'll leave it at that, man. Anyway. Well, I got 3 of them, my man. I'm 0-2 in one league, I'm 1-1 in one league, and I'm 1-0 in this league that we're both in. So yeah, I'm in a rough start, man. All my players is hurt. That's what I have. I have Nick Chubbs in one of my lineups. In the league I'm in, 1-1 I'm 1-1 in. I have Nick Chubb in my lineup, and yeah, that is very sad. Yeah, but I don't have Nick Chubb by any other team but that one. But I lost Aaron Rodgers in my league with my homeboys. He was my backup quarterback, but I was going to use him in just in case Lamar Jackson started playing like trash. But I can't do that. So guess who my backup quarterback is? Baker Mayfield. Yeah.
That's not that bad right now. That's not that bad.
It's not that bad right now. So, but at low key, I got to try to see if I can get a couple games in with him. Because if he balling and he get the numbers, I'm gonna try to see if I can sneak one of them games. It's just hard because I'm like, I don't want to do that and then Lamar go for like 40 points and I got him on the bench. I can't justify it.
Like a fool.
So. Yeah, I look stupid. And I've done that a few times, by the way. That's probably the worst thing about fantasy, right? Worst thing about fantasy for anybody that does play fantasy. The worst thing about fantasy is when you put players on the bench and they play better than the players that you got in the lineup. Because you think that like because of matchups or something that they might play better. But little do you know, for some reason, you'll have a wide receiver, he'll have 35 points on the fucking bench and you be sick. And you'll be sick. It's the worst feeling in the world, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like that is a top tier feeling of feeling like shit. I'm not gonna lie. It's terrible. It's very terrible, man. Yeah. Well, Moving along, man, to as we wrap up the podcast, we go to the lovely weekly predictions. For those to keep up with the record, well, I should keep up with the record, but those you may know, we do predictions about the main games that come on TV, the one that come on prime time. So if it comes on, where everybody has to watch it, then we'll count those. I think I'm gonna go back to the other videos and I'm gonna put them together. So do the one we got now, but then I'm gonna just do the ones that like all together just to see out of curiosity what our records is like. Um but yeah,
Like
man.
last season too?
Just for this year. So like the first 2 weeks we done so far, I'm probably gonna look at who we all picked, like who we both picked, and just make
Oh, like all of them?
overall. Yes.
Okay. Because I was gonna say we have the results of what we've done for primetime.
Yeah. So as of right now, I think my brother's up 5-2. 4-3, unfortunately, because the Panthers and the Browns failed me
I guess the
this
Browns
week.
too, which we missed that one. The Browns and Steelers. For some
Yeah,
reason we didn't mention
did.
it, but we
Yeah.
just texted each other Monday or Sunday, and I was just like,
Sunday,
"Hey, who you want?"
Browns and you
He
Browns and
said Browns.
you
I was like, same, and then I seen the Steelers one, and I
He was
deleted.
like,
You know, how you can edit
yeah,
text
yeah,
now.
you can delete it. You
I
was like, oh
deleted it.
yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
pick the
like, oh, I
Steelers.
think I want the Steelers.
Yeah, all right, bro. Whatever. Anyway, so yeah, he's up by 1 win right now. So hopefully we can change that going into this week. Oh yeah, matter of fact, before we get to this, we're not gonna go past about this past week about how my boy Gino cooked your Lions list this past week. We ain't gonna talk about that. You want to talk about that?
No, we ain't gonna talk
All
about
right, for sure.
it.
I'm just gonna say, shout out to matter of fact, I'm pulling a card. Shout out to my boy Gino, man. Gino went to Seattle, took care of business like I said he would, because I definitely picked Gino to win that game. I know I did. You know what I'm saying? 32 for 41, 328, 2 tugs, and the cutback victory OT. Yeah, put some respect on Gino. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. I ain't even gonna do nothing else.
Draft him to be your new quarterback.
Somebody took him. I would.
Mm.
Anyway, so Thursday night, man, short return week. We have the San Francisco Giants against the San Francisco Giants. The San Francisco 49ers versus the New York Giants.
I was supposed to be at this game too, bro.
Word. Damn.
Ain't nobody want to go. Ain't nobody wanted to go.
Ain't nobody
I was like, man.
Well, you know what's so funny? I can't. I gotta go to like a little like work dinner. I can't even go if I wanted to.
Well, I'm choosing Niners, so don't even mess with me on that.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna do that, and I'm not even gonna be different. I'm picking the Niners.
Oh yeah, okay.
That could be different. I told you that though.
I'm not choosing the Niners ever again.
But here's the thing: it's got to be a competent matchup. That would just be an ignorant. Like I would just be funny. Nah, it's not happening. I'm picking the Niners too, man. It's just too good, man. I think with Daniel Jones. Now, can the Giants win this game for sure? I don't know if Jaquan Barkley not playing though. That would probably suck. I don't think.
No,
if he's not playing, if he's out, then
they
don't have a shot.
I think he's out for like 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, then yeah, he's out. Yeah, and they're not playing. So yeah, I got the Giants. I got the Giants. Sorry, I got the Niners winning probably about like a nice 14. I did a nice 14, nothing too crazy. Next thing you know, you got Sunday morning. You got Indiana versus Baltimore. Baltimore's at home.
Baltimore.
Of course, I'm rolling Baltimore. Easy dub. Anthony Richardson, I like you, but you're not that nice yet. So I'm going injured. Baltimore. Oh yeah, huh? He is hurt. Yeah. Damn. Still picking Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Respectfully.
Who's next?
Oh.
I said Baltimore.
You said Baltimore. My fault. I didn't hear you. I was deaf. We have Tennessee at Cleveland. This would have been a great game if both running backs were healthy. Clearly they're not. So yeah. I'm going Tennessee. I'm going Tennessee with this one. I think Tennessee gets this on the road. I don't really like I like what I'm seeing from Cleveland defensively, but unless Deshaun Watson can step up offensively and they change some things around, I don't like what I'm seeing from Cleveland. I'm gonna be honest.
I'm going Cleveland, bro. Even though Nick Chubbs isn't playing, I still think it's a better team. Like their defense is really good. So
I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that. It'll be a trap game. Next we have Denver at Miami. I have Miami because Denver is
Fraudulent
Denver.
again.
Denver is Denver. Even though they played good last week, they gave up another game against Washington Commanders, ironically. But I don't know, man. It's just
They're not doing good.
yeah, they just not. They just it ain't hidden. It ain't hidden. Simple as that. It's not hidden.
Yeah, no. I'll go Miami too.
Next we have New York. I mean not New York. New England at New York Jets. Damn. Both these teams kind of
Just because you gotta just gamble on Wilson.
I'm picking New England. I think Bill Belichick is going to make Zach Wilson throw 2 picks, and they're gonna win that game by 3.
I'm gonna go Jets. I'll go Jets. This don't count, so I'm gonna go Jets.
Yeah.
I feel like Zach Wilson could have a good game. He just gotta bounce back.
He sucks. He won't. Next we have Buffalo at Washington. Washington 2-0 right now. Buffalo coming off a dominant win against the Raiders. I'm picking Buffalo. I want Josh Allen to be great. I picked him as my MVP, I think, at the beginning of the year. Did I pick him as my MVP? I think.
Yeah, I want to say I did.
So yeah, I gotta push his agenda. So yeah, Josh Allen, MVP. He for the ball.
Yeah, I'll go Buffalo too.
All right, bet. Next we have Atlanta at Detroit.
Atlanta's looking good right now, bro.
Ain't looking too bad. Go lie. Don't push away. You
injured, right?
Who?
Isn't Pittman injured now? Or Pitts?
I don't know. I didn't look at the injury report.
I don't know. I like Atlanta. I'm gonna go Atlanta. I like Atlanta.
Atlanta, this a pick me. This a toss up for me, but I go Atlanta too. I don't
Robinson
know.
Gonna be that rookie of the year, bro. He going crazy.
All right, man. We have oh my god! I just
let me know
Sunday
when it's
night.
a prime time.
I know. I just seen the 2 of them. Ugh, disgusted.
There's 2 Sunday night.
No, there's 1 Sunday night and 1 Monday night, I think.
Okay.
Let me see. No, it's 2 Monday nights and then 1 Sunday night. What the fuck going on? Okay. All right. So we have New Orleans versus Green Bay. Or New Orleans at Green Bay, sorry.
This is a Sunday night?
No, this is just a regular game.
Okay, cool. Don't count.
Don't count.
I'm gonna say Green Bay.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go Green Bay as well. I like how they've been playing. They're playing really well, even though they lost their last game by Atlanta, but it was very close. I definitely like what I'm seeing from Green Bay. I'm rooting for Jordan Love, man. I think Jordan Love gonna be good, man.
He's doing good. Except for that last snap or that one snap, he fell.
Bro, no, not even fell. He tried to do the QB sneak and went. He didn't take the ball with him.
No, he just ran into the.
He just ran. Oh God, that was embarrassing, bro. That's unreal. Houston at Jacksonville.
No, it's Jacksonville. Jacksonville. Yeah, they're good. Their defense is doing really well. So.
Yeah, I got Jacksonville as well. CJ Stroud been playing pretty solid too, but I think Jacksonville is probably the better team too in this regards. Chargers at Minnesota. Somebody will get their first win today, and I'm praying to God it's the Chargers. Come on, man. I need y'all to get a dub. You're looking bad out here. I'm picking the Chargers. I don't really like Minnesota, so I'm picking the Chargers.
I'll pick Minnesota.
All right, cool. Then we have Carolina at Seattle. I'm picking Geno Smith. I think most games I'm picking Geno Smith because I'm pushing the Geno agenda.
Yeah,
Geno is like that. So
Seattle's definitely better than Carolina. So yes, Seattle.
Even though Bryce hasn't been playing okay, but it's not gonna be enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, he's still rookie. He's still learning.
Next we have Dallas at Arizona. I figured Dallas goes in there and takes care of the business. And
100-0 right there.
Nah. Arizona been competing, though, but they're gonna lose probably about 14, 17 points.
What are you doing? You like rubbing the microphone?
My bad. I'm like moving it around.
Sounds like wind.
Oh, sorry. The next you got Chicago at Kansas City. Chicago might be 0-3.
No, Kansas City's back. They good to go. So
yeah.
Chicago ain't got no chance.
All right, man. Well, these next 3 games they count. Sunday night, we have Pittsburgh at Las Vegas Raiders.
Dang.
This is gonna be.
That's a hard one.
I
go Pittsburgh. I'm going Pittsburgh.
I am going with the Raiders.
Okay, cool.
Jimmy G, do not fail me. Jesus, please don't fail me, Jimmy G. All right. Monday afternoon-ish, whatever. So we got 2 games on Monday. We have Philly at Tampa Bay.
Philly. I like Mayfield. He's doing good, but I don't think he can compete with Philly. You gonna go with Tampa? You gonna do it? You gonna go Tampa? Take a gamble there?
I think I might go with. This might be the trap game for Philly. I think I might take Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. It gotta be fun, man. We can't pick the same teams all the time. Make it fun, man. I go Tampa Bay. Go Tampa Bay, man. And then we got Rams at Cincinnati.
Sorry, hold on. Give me a second. I'm trying to write these down. Okay.
Okay.
Rams at Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hard one too, because you don't want to see Cincinnati. Well, if Burrow's injured, it's gonna go Rams.
Yeah. If Burrow, okay. Man, I don't know.
So yeah, I'm going Rams on that one.
If Burrow's playing, I'm taking Cincinnati.
You gotta take.
If Burrow's not playing, that'd be fire. Cincinnati wins either way. All right, man. We're gonna be a little. Man, that's dumb. Why would I pick Cincinnati? I don't really have nothing I can think that, unless Will Greer Browning go crazy, which I'm probably not gonna happen. But Matthew Stafford, they played such a. It's hard because I just see what they did against the Niners. It's like they're good. They can actually be good. I'm gonna play it safe. I'm going with the Rams. I can't even like sell me on my I can sell myself on Tampa Bay just because they hot right now and they're feeling good and Baker Mayfield on his back, he's talking that ish. All right, bet. Cincinnati, nah, I can't sell myself on that, man. I just can't.
Not yet. No, as long as we know Burrow is not 100%, it's a toss up.
Yeah, it's a toss up for sure. So yeah, man. Yeah, and that is all of the predictions for the week, and that pretty much wraps up this podcast, man. Again, like I said, appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man. This has been a lovely episode of the Fourth Rounders podcast, and we will catch. Well, actually, no, you got anything else you want to add?
I'm good, bro.
All right, bet. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us. Like I said, again, make sure you like, share, subscribe. You're watching this on YouTube. You know the actual factuals. You know all the details, details, e-tails. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, peace.
Doses.